Which player do you think is going to make the biggest jump this upcoming season?
Assar Thompson. I think he's going to be a top 50 player this year. I think he's going to be fantastic. I think his defense for a full year will be one of the best in the entire league now. I think his impact will be felt even more so now that he will be able to play 30 minutes a game for the full year. And I think that his offense will improve to a point where they can trust him now with the ball in his hands and let him be a secondary playmaker and let him be someone who runs some weak side action and maybe split up some of the ball handling responsibilities amongst him, Ivy, and Cade. So I think Assar is going to have a really, really good year. And I think he's going to break out this year. I think Amen had his breakout last year. I think Assar will have his this year.
I can't say I'm really surprised at that, and I think a lot of people nationally are really riding the Assar Thompson train. Like, really, like I don't know how many Zach Lowe podcasts I've listened to where Assar
He's
Thompson. Yeah, it's
he's loved him. He's been talking about him nonstop.
yeah, or, KOC. Like it's kind of crazy, just like with the Assar height, but I get it. Like the type of season that he had with no training camp, and he conditioned himself on the fly, and like the defense went from kind of middle of the pack to top 10 when he was out there. So I'm going to be really interested to see if they let him play point Assar, because I thought last year when JB experimented with that, I loved it, man. I love the transition buckets because they just couldn't stay in front of him whatsoever.
Yeah, look the point guard Assar game against OKC and the point guard Assar game against Philly was some of the most fun I've had watching all year. He's just an instant paint touch. His handle has to improve, but you can't stay in front of him, and he's such a good processor, such a good playmaker that once he does get to the paint, he's able to make the read quickly. I think he's going to have a tremendous season.
Yeah, I think I would have the same answer. I think my 1B, I think I told you yesterday, is Ron Holland. I just kind of believe in the jump shot. I think his processing got a lot better in the summer league, and you touched on it yesterday. Like he's so mature for a second year player. Like you don't see a lot of second year players tell you, "Hey, I'm watching film. Watching film on Cade." Like you don't really see that too often. To me, I think he's just scratching the surface. I think he can have a really good sophomore campaign.
Yeah, I had Ron number 2 on my list of guys to break out this year. I think Ron, if he can shoot anywhere close to how he was in summer league, if his jump shots improved at all, I think that's going to be huge for him. But even last year as a rookie, he was one of the best finishers as a rookie in the league. Like he was a tremendous finisher, great touch with either hand within 5 feet of the rim. I think they want to give him some more usage off the bench. I think he'll start to get a little bit more, leeway to be that scorer off the bench. I really, really like what Ron's doing. I think he's going to be. My only pushback is that he is young, so like he's really young. So
Yeah.
maybe it doesn't happen this year, is because I think it could happen this year, but I don't want to put that expectation on him because he's such a raw prospect to where I could definitely see and understand that maybe it takes till year 3 for him to really explode out the gates. But I could see it happening this year. He's that like I'm really high on Ron as well.
Yeah, some of the layup packages that he had in his rookie season, like
With
I
either
would have
hand.
I'd have to rewind it and said no way that went in. Like no way that went in. Like the Milwaukee game, where I think he scored like 20 something points, man. He was just in his bag, like hitting threes, getting to the rim. Like it's
That game
crazy.
in the second half of the season against the Pelicans, I think he had like 30 points in that game and like 15 and a quarter. Like he was going crazy in that game, especially the first half. His finishing with either hand is just incredible.
Yeah, that's why I was so high on him and like the draft process. Like I never understood why people had him like 10. I was just like, I know the G League Ignite was a rough watch, you guys. I know they lost just as much as the Pistons did, but I mean, him and Matas were like really high on my board from what I remember doing, like pre-draft stuff.
I remember I didn't even like. I don't think I did any kind of scouting on Ron pre-draft because I didn't hear his name brought up at all. Like I still remember being at the pre-draft room when they called him because after they draft him, they get him up on a phone call and they interview him and have everyone there like kind of do the reporting whatever. And I remember them asking like, "Hey, did you work out with the Pistons at all?" He's like, "Absolutely not." And then they were like, "Were you expecting to go to Detroit?" He's like, "No, I'm really shocked right now." So like he had no idea that he was coming to Detroit. And even Trajan came out and said when he came in after drafting was like, yeah, we didn't have much, we weren't really expecting him to be here. So we just didn't, we just really didn't do a lot of pre-draft interviews with him. So I didn't hear nothing about it beforehand. So I just didn't even scout him. I didn't have a video for him pre-draft. That's probably a mistake by me, but that's like how, like, it just didn't seem like he was even an option. So, but I'm happy they got him. I really like Ron.